Ladies and gentlemen, virtual race fans around the world, thank you so much for tuning in. Shadow Edge Media for yet another Tuesday night of racing with the Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series and all the crew that it entails. And, I look forward to Tuesdays now. You know, usually it's Monday where it's like, Mondays, it's the beginning of the week. But Tuesdays, oh, man, I do not like Tuesdays. But thankfully, we are here in the thick of racing, and we've got more A-Class V8 Vantage Aston Martins out at Bathurst and out at Sonoma Raceway. Two fantastic real-world circuits, and as you take a look there at the scoreboard, there are the standings coming out of week number 1 last Sunday out at, first and foremost, not first and foremost, let's go to the track that we ended with out there at Rio de Janeiro. Crazy track. That was one heck of a race that had a lot to do with what had happened or what was happening to the vehicles as they were going around the track with relation to the environment. I was calling it like a PvE race. That one was. The race before it out there at Spa, magnificent. And so we're definitely looking forward to tonight's racing action. CMD Slipstream at the top of the leaderboard there. Cratrium, formerly known as C-Tom, in second. Foontang, Disco Joint, it's PJ Dude, Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire, T-Phrase, Bippity, Gotta Go Fast, Drift Bunny, Presto's Besto, and the whole lot. And they've readied up, so we're going to go ahead and get on over to the racing action as the lobby loads in and we get ready for qualifying out here at Bathurst. 3 laps around the 3.86-mile circuit. We'll talk to some of the drivers, or at least we'll open the invitation up to the drivers to chat after qualifying here as the race organizers get everything set up. And here we go. We're underway. And it's going to be Demos who's going to take the lead pace, or the front of the first lap, the standing start out here qualifying. So really, as we always talk about here, these first laps, not the ones that you're going to get your quickest time unless it's the only lap that happens to be your clean time. But for the most part, everybody should be able to get a clean, fast lap in on the second or third go-around. It's Blacklist. Thank you so much for the follow. Norbert Black Cat, thank you for the follow back on Sunday. I don't think I read you off. But thank you all very much for the follows. And if you're watching for the very first time here, Shadow Edge Media, you enjoy the entertainment that you get for the next, hour and 45 minutes or so, then please click that follow button. Lets me know as the broadcaster that you're enjoying your time here. And when we go live next, coming this Sunday, you'll get that notification at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the Mileage Masters Championship Season number 5, race number 3. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about what we've got going on the track right here. We've got demos going around. You can tell there, Disco Joint, he's ghosted right now. So Forza Motorsport 7, maybe you're not familiar with it, you're new to virtual racing, you're just kind of skimming the interwebs, you happen across this channel. Well, what happens here, because we're in qualifying, and the beauty of virtual motorsports is that you can do simultaneous qualifying without having to wait for each track to go around individually, and we could do this at a clip of 3 laps all at once and knock it out within about 7 to 10 minutes time. And so that's why you see the drivers ghosting here in qualifying. It allows the others to get around without having to navigate the other cars. They can go right through them and continue on with their pace to try to pin down that fastest lap. And Disco Joint's going to jump out in front. Looking in the pit lane, we've got PJ Dude is here. Family Dude telling us that he is not going to be racing here today. And he says, not going to interfere with points when I know I will not make any future races. So we may have seen the last of Family Dude, at least in the FM4 for the next several weeks. Perhaps waiting until season 26. And of course, Family Dude being the champion back there in season 24. He picked this car, did not race in week number 1, is spectating here today, scouting it out, checking out some of these newer names out on the track. And like I said, maybe we'll see him out here for season 26 of the FM4 Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. You can take a look there. Fear the Fun with a 2:17. Again, this is a standing start that time was recorded on. So we'll probably see that bested as the drivers get around the track. We take a look at the map there on the left-hand side. You can see we've got them all the way heading up the hill through the cutting, and some drivers still back there in Murray's Corner heading toward the main straightaway. 23 corners here, and you'll find the bulk of them here at the top of Mount Panorama. Turn 3, T3 all the way through T19 happened within about a mile span at this 3.86 mile circuit. And there goes Demos, who sits 16th currently in terms of top time, but again, that's from a standing start. And let's go ahead and we'll move ourselves up to the front of the pack now to Cratrium. Cratrium, formerly known as C-Tom, had a spectacular week number 1. And that's why he is second on the leaderboard currently with those 40 points. And actually tied with Funtang at 40, but the organizers, they do have a structure in place so that ties are divvied up based on different parameters. And so that's why Cratrium sits on top in second, Funtang in third. Disco Joint in fourth, PJ Dude in fifth, Fear the Fun sixth, Slow Motion Fires there in seventh. We went through 12, so let's go over to 13, Autobahn, 14, Iceman Misfit. Ray Devil is back there, is back there in 15th position. Demos 16th in terms of overall points coming into this. If you go to reddit.com/r/FM4, you can not only check out the points leaderboard and where everybody stands currently, but also the rules, the regulations. We'll talk about those here in a little bit as we go into the first race. But that way, if you would like to race in the FM4 Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series, you too can get out here on the track. They dropped their lowest week in terms of points, so of the 5 weeks, only your top 4 weeks count. That being said, even if you don't get in the next or in this week, then you won't necessarily be in the running for the championship, but you can continue to race with these guys, get some experience with them, and then be ready for season 26. And there goes Cratrium grabbing the top spot at a 2:15.0. Good on Cratrium with that time currently. Slipstream has the top speed, currently third in terms of top time. As you can see up there, unfortunately our ticker not giving us the time information right now. It's going to give us the distance. Let's go TFX, says Bullhamp. Family Dude, ghosted quality allows wall hitting without dirtying a lap, so everyone should end up getting clean if they can take the fast right-hander here flat. Interesting. So if you go off track, then certainly you'll dirty your lap. But Family Dude telling us that with the ghosted situation that we have here in qualifying, you could tap one of these walls and still have a clean lap. That's an interesting little factoid there. And there goes Slipstream off the track. So Slipstream, who might have been looking for a top time to take the pole position, this looks to be a dirty lap for him. So whatever he got on his second run will probably be his quick time. Dustin Moore, Shadow Edge Media, excited for the week ahead for tonight, the week ahead for Mileage Masters Championship, the end of the first half of Season 5. We've had quite a controversial Season 5. But what's beautiful about that, I say this optimistically, is that it allows us to learn. Where we fail, we have opportunities to learn, and we will certainly do that with some of the shortcomings of the MMC here in Season 5. We'll pick it up, and we'll make things better, not only for our drivers out on the track, but for everybody who's watching in the coming seasons. And it looks like it's going to be Cratrium holding on to the best lap currently, that 2:15.0. And as the remaining drivers, we see Slipstream going to slide it across the line there. Nobody thus far is going to take down Cratrium's time. Cratrium. Cratrium had informed me after week number 1 that it is indeed Cratrium. So let me go ahead and make that correction right now. We'll go ahead and make that correction right now. All right, I'm going to flash up the. I'm going to go ahead and throw the standings up on the screen there for you. We're going to duck out of qualifying for right now, and we're going to wait to see if any drivers would like to join us in the drivers spotlight. That's where we get a chance to talk with them in between qualifying and the first race, and if the drivers would like to chat it up, they would like to have an interview, then please go into the Queue for Interview channel, and we'll talk it out. Get your thoughts on qualifying, thoughts on Bathurst, what you're looking forward to here in race number 1 of week 2, season 25. 25. Now, no, they haven't been doing this for 25 years. It's been several seasons within several years' time, but man, these guys have been doing this for a long, long time. And yep, so I'm gonna have to work with our buddy Slow Motion Fire to get the whole interview feature fixed. But so if PJ Duke can just hang out right there, I'm gonna gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. I was just saying, 25 seasons of the Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. How long have you been a part of this?
So I did that last one with the Fiats and then this one.
So tell us, Fiat or the Aston Martin, which are you loving best right now at this point?
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of not big on any of them. They're tolerable. I'll give you that, But the Fiat was a little slow. This one, it feels like I'm driving the world's most luxurious hot rod, By that, I mean, it's just wants to spin out all the time, at least in my case.
And just out of curiosity for anybody who may be watching and thinking, hey, the FM4, this looks like a place that I should be racing. What sparked your interest in joining? Had you been watching for some time these guys out on the track? Did you learn through it? Learn about it through a friend? How did it happen for you?
So I finished the career mode and got a little bored there, and I thought I wanted to find a good group of people to race with, and here I am.
And is this kind of your introduction to online racing, or have you had kind of some experience with leagues in the past?
Oh, this is it right here.
This is
my introduction.
Awesome.
I kind of hope I'm getting better, but I still feel like I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, it just takes some time. That's what we encourage folks here in the FM4 and also in the MMC is just keep at it no matter where you place. Not everybody can win. Somebody's got to lose, so might as well get out there and give it a shot. As far as the Aston Martin goes, you said that between this and the Fiat, you're not necessarily loving both of them, but in terms of preparation, how much did you put into getting the car ready and tuning it and possibly even to a granular level of, hey, I'm going out to this track, so let me put this tune on it?
So what I've done was I found that one custom tune I made worked pretty good for every track except for Rio. I had to make a special one for that one, but I spent maybe maybe 20 minutes on each track trying to get the tune right, and my spa tune just worked everywhere, so I just kind of rolled with that, except Rio, that is.
Okay, well. Talking with Gotta Go Fast here in the driver's spotlight, currently 17th on the leaderboard. Aspirations to get much higher, or are you pretty comfortable where you're sitting right now?
Oh, I'm having fun. I just kind of happy where I'm at, but I'll keep trying to get better. But I won't get mad if I lose.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Gotta Go Fast. Good luck out there at Bathurst, and perhaps we'll chat with you a little bit later on.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so there you go. Gotta Go Fast. Joining us here in the driver's spotlight, and let's see if we can't get it's PJ Dude to join in. PJ Dude, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, absolutely. 5th position on the leaderboard, 26 points, right there behind Disco Joint. And by right there behind, I mean Disco Joint's got 32, you got 26. But hey, an opportunity here in week 2. What are you thinking about the track combination here today with Bathurst and then Sonoma a little bit later on?
Oh, I mean, both of them are probably in my top 10 favorite tracks. Nice. Of all time, and I feel pretty comfortable on both. Well, not after seeing CT's time on that qualifying.
Who
but,
could?
You know.
Yeah. So you're pretty comfortable at these tracks, but tell us, you're heading up Mount Panorama, coming out of Griffin's Bend there, turn 2, right-hander. You start heading up the hill, and then the track immediately narrows. You're winding up the hill, and then you come basically, just sliding on down, just flying back down the hill toward Forest's Elbow. Not only is it exciting, but now when you've got, let's see, when we looked at the lobby, we've got at least 17 drivers out there. How do you approach this in the first lap or two with everybody so close together? What's your game plan there?
I kind of delved a bit in, open lobby racing, throughout my Forza career.
Yeah.
This is actually my first league ever.
Oh, wow.
But I'm pretty close, or I'm pretty comfortable with close quarter racing. Just trying to stay timid when I'm right behind somebody and keep an eye on their braking lines, braking points. So it basically just, I feel comfortable with my skill as far as tight-knit racing. Mm-hmm. And if I have to back off, I'll back off. I know there's a couple guys that are much faster than I am, and I'm not even going to try to make a mistake and kind of ruin it for the both of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because here at Bathurst, this is one of those tracks where a mistake can cost you dearly. You find yourself into one of these walls, and it's a long jaunt back to the pit lane, and then you're in pit lane for a good, 30, 45 seconds. So really, like you said, kind of consistency and just taking it easy and knowing your own limits is got to be key here, especially when we're looking at, I think 12 laps here, so a lot of racing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm hoping it'll be better and closer racing than Rio. It was kind of chaotic. I made it through pretty well. Finished, I think, 5th last week. So I'm hoping to stay somewhere in the top 8 tonight for sure.
Good deal. Well, PJ, dude, it looks like everybody's readying up. So good luck out there on the track, and good luck out there.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. There we go, talking to PJ, dude, in the driver's spotlight. Good to chat with our drivers in between the races, see what they're thinking heading into each of these events. And there you go. You've got 2 drivers. PJ, dude, who was just telling us, this is his, this is kind of his introduction, at least to this series. And so that's how easy it is to get in here, get acclimated to what they're doing, have fun, and race throughout the 5 weeks and see how good you can do, and then come back for another season, because inevitably there will be another one. They've done this 25 times. You can get back out there and see how you improve season over season. What's up there? Try passing LS1. LS1s, yes. We love them LS1s. Thank you so much for the follow, and I appreciate the comment there. Very nice setup you guys got here. Thank you. Thank you very much, and hopefully you'll be able to stick around for the next, what are we at now, 60 to 70 minutes or so. More of racing here this evening. Tuesday night racing, Shadow Edge Media with the Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. Solar with the host. Welcome. Welcome all the viewers from Solar's channel. We're just waiting for the kickoff of race number 1 here, week 2, FM4, out here at Bathurst. And there's the countdown. I'm getting word that there has been a driver drop, so they're trying to effort him back into the event. It could be Disco Joint. As I look on the grid, Disco Joint's back in, so maybe we've got everybody back in, which would be fantastic. That would be awesome to have everybody back in, and we're going to go up to the front of the pack with Cratchrim for the start of this race. And here we go. Kick the tires and light the fires. I said 12 laps of racing. Let's make that 14. Out here at Bathurst. Here we go. Turn number 1. It's Hell Corner. And Cratchrim seems to have fallen back significantly, unless my camera has moved on me. It has. So we'll go back up to Cratchrim, who's in second position currently amongst a big pack of cars down the long mountain straight. You go into a bit of a goalie before you start to head uphill, and there you go. Cratcherian back behind Foontang. Foontang, predictable as ever in that magenta NVIDIA Vantage V8. Up the hill, through the cutting, into Quarry Corner. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those turns, what is that, 6 turns? All at you in quick fashion. And here comes Blister Gypsy right there on the back of Cratcherian. Blister Gypsy was unable to get any points in on week number 1. So if Blister is able to come away with a good finish here in week number 2 and then finish out the season through the remainder 3 weeks, could be a name to watch out for as they clip the curbing and a little bit of the grass there as they come down through the dipper toward Forrest's elbow. And it looks like we've got a big pack of cars who have dropped back a little bit just to perhaps maybe give everybody a little bit of breathing room. Here comes Well Done Baku. He's going to slide it out toward the wall. Everybody avoiding the tire wall. This is usually where you see those tires all askew across the track like little donuts hanging out there. Unfortunately, here in the virtual world of Forza Motorsport 7, those tires, they're not as painful on the track as they are all assembled together on the wall. Once you get tangled up with them in the wall, that's no fun. Out on the track when they're just laying around out there, not so bad. You just kind of punt them off to the side. Going back up to Cratcherian, who's got Foontang up there, and Foontang hits the left-hander. Murray's corner, back to the start-finish line. It's 1, 2, 3, Foontang, Cratcherian, and Blister Gypsy. And there you go. That's how we start our Tuesday night racing here in the FM4 Series, week number 2. And Foontang definitely trying to put the pedal to the metal here, get out in front of Cratcherian by a wide margin. That way he has an opportunity to have the advantage in terms of points. He'll be back behind Slipstream still. Let's try to find out where Slipstream is out on the track. Slipstream currently back there in 5th position. We'll go to PJ Dude, who we just talked to there in the driver's spotlight. He's racing in 6th. Very respectable position. Fear the Fun right behind him, locking up the brakes a little bit, throwing the tire smoke out the back. Then it's up the hill, and Fear the Fun's going to slide it through up against the Armor All tire, or not the tire wall, the Armor All wall. Too many alls in that sentence. What's up there, Solar? And again, I appreciate the host, and we welcome everybody from the solar system joining us here on Twitch TV. Back up the hill once again for lap number 2. It's PJ Dude back there in 6th position. We'll go back up to Cratcherian in 2nd and see if he's going to make a move on Foontang. They're up over McPhillamy Park, or past McPhillamy Park, through Skyline, then the S's, into the dipper. This is a really fun part of the track. It's a lot more fun when you have fewer cars around you, admittedly, but man, when you really nail this section, coming through the dipper and such, oh, it's such a satisfying feeling. You feel like you're doing a slalom in the Olympics. It's wonderful. Foontang now starting to widen that margin with Cratcherian. There I go saying Cratcherian again. Cratcherian. Cray. He's cray-cray. Foontang. Oh, Foontang was a little bit, the back end seemed to be fishtailing slightly. Oh, and there goes the loading screen. Oh, we hate getting the loading screen. Cratcherian. Oh, Foontang is in 2nd, so something did happen to Foontang during the loading screen, and there we got the loading screen once again. Oh, my. We've got all kinds of nastiness happening out on the track. Apparently, Cratcherian is out there in front. Blister Gypsy in 2nd, and unfortunately, it appears maybe Foontang was the one that was glitching, hence the reason we were getting the loading screen when locked on his car. And Foontang is off the track for race number 1 here tonight. We hope to get him back out here for Sonoma, but this week may end up just being a wash for him. Blister Gypsy, by default, will move up to 2nd position. Well done. Baku is there in 3rd. Well done indeed. Running in 3rd now. Let's run through the pack. We've got Slipstream, who by default has moved up from 5th to 4th. PJ Dude is in 5th. Fear the Fun 6th. Disco Joint in 7th. Slow Motion Fire is 8. T-Phrase is back there in 9th position. A little bit of a gap before you get to Demo. Then it's TFX Ray Devil, Bippity, Gotta Go Fast, Ollie, Autobahn, Drift Bunny, Presto is Besto. 17 cars of the 18 which started. I think we actually even had 19 who started this race. So a very good showing here tonight in week number 2. Perhaps all those drivers who couldn't make it for week 1, knowing that that's their drop week, they definitely had to get in here tonight. And so we've got good representation here in the FM4. And again, if you want more information on this series, you want to learn about how to participate, you want to know about the specifications of the car, so on and so forth, go to reddit.com/r/FM4. These vehicles, it is a spec series indeed, so they're all upgraded to the same performance level. That performance level here in Forza Motorsport 7 A700. These vehicles have 607 horsepower with a matching 607 foot-pounds of torque. The vehicles weigh a hefty 3,663 pounds. In the engine and power section, they've got race oil and cooling, platform and handling-wise, race brakes, race springs and dampers, front and rear race anti-roll bars. We've got the race chassis reinforcement and roll cage. Race weight reduction still only brings it down to 3,663 pounds. In the drivetrain, street drive line, race differential, tires and rims. You got the race tire compound with front tires of 305 4018s and 305 4018s in the back as well, with some Graham Lights 57 Optimize in between them. Aero and appearance, race front bumper and race wing. No conversions to the vehicle whatsoever. That's the configuration. A700, 607 horsepower. Lots of power here in these Aston Martin Vantages. As we continue to watch Blister Gypsy get around the track, let's go back to, we got a good battle back here for 5th. PJ Dude in 6th. PJ Dude was in 5th, but has now since lost that to Disco Joint. Disco Joint moving up a spot. Disco Joint 4th overall on the leaderboard, 32 points. So he's looking for a solid finish, and oh no, he tags the Fujitsu air conditioning wall, and Disco Joint is going to be off to the side of the track. So let's go to Disco Joint's car and see if he incurred any damage as a result of that collision. And he looks to be okay. So no damage to that car, at least from what we can tell, unless the system happens to be glitched. But it definitely put him off the pace and has allowed PJ to reclaim 5th position. Cratrium has widened that margin, or continues to have a good margin over Blister Gypsy. Same goes between Blister Gypsy and Weldon Baku, and almost equally distanced is Slipstream back there in 4th position. PJ Dude, Disco Joint, who we're seeing right now, T-Phrase back behind them, Slow Motion Fire in 8th, Demos is in 9th, TFX Ray Devil in 10th, Bippity in 11th. Let's go to Gotta Go Fast, who's there in 12th. We talked to him as well in the driver's spotlight. They're going to be 3 wide. Gotta Go Fast. Well, it looks like they were going to be. Ollie stuck in there between them, creating an Oreo. Down the Conrad straight, up to the chase, turn 20, 21, and 22. And they're going to go 2 wide. Ollie daring to the inside. Gotta Go Fast is going to be able to jump out in front and slowing it down big time. Probably where you got to apply the brake most of all out on this track, and then it's through 22, the right-hander before the left of Murray's corner. Nicely contested battle back here in 11th position. Ollie to the inside out of Murray's. Gotta Go Fast is going to have the advantage. Now Bippity's going to look to the inside of Ollie, or to the outside rather, going into Hell Corner. Family Dude says side-on hit, definitely got lucky there not to take any damage. That's the beautiful thing here in Forza Motorsport 7. You get the side hit versus the head-on collision. The side hits are definitely more forgiving. Sure, if you do it extremely hard, it's going to mess up the frame of the vehicle, and your alignment's going to be all whacked out. But you can oftentimes get away with going with a side hit and very, very little damage. Let's go back to our race leader with Cratrium, who is out in front of Blister Gypsy, who is starting to reel him in a little bit as they head into Forza's elbow, turn 18. And then you've got this little kink here before you hit the straightaway. That's T19 on to Conrad. 3.86 miles out here at Bathurst, Mount Panorama Circuit. Great to have you tuned in. Shadow Edge Media live here on Twitch TV. Dustin Moore broadcasting, commentating. Here comes Cratrium into that right-hander. Looking solid from the left, then the right, through the S's. Here on the backside of the track. Or I should say nearing the start-finish line portion of the track. Beautiful, beautiful circuit and a wonderful environment. Turn 10 has given Bathurst here a little bit cloudy, but peaks of sunshine, just the right amount of light. Able to see things out here on the track. Of course, Bathurst, home of many endurance races, or several endurance races. And that can get tricky here in the evening times. Very little lighting out on the circuit here. And with such tight corners, as we see Cratrium approaching Griffin's Bend, this is where it really starts to get a little bit congested. If you're claustrophobic as a racer, Mount Panorama is probably not the place for you. Family Dude seemed like he kicked the back out a little bit to not hit front on, which could have ended his race. Yeah, so a little tactical acceleration to spin the back end of Disco Joint's car out and into the wall. That way he was able to save it. Cratrium still there in first. Blister Gypsy in second. A marvelous, marvelous run by Blister Gypsy, who again was not part of week one fun out there at Circuit de Spa and Rio de Janeiro, but he is here in a big way for week number 2. And again, we've got Sonoma coming up after this. So after we finish up 14 laps here at Mount Panorama, we'll do some qualifying out at Sonoma. And they'll be going to the short circuit for that one, meaning it's a 23-lapper out at that 1.99 mile short circuit of Sonoma. But glad to be out here at the real world circuits, the Rio de Janeiro circuit. We talked to some of our drivers. Some of them, it's exciting to them. They like it. They like the thrill of, just not knowing how consistent you could possibly be out there. I suppose that helps kind of maybe even out the playing field a little bit. One little bump, one wrong move out there at Rio, it can ruin anybody's race, no matter how quick you are. But for a lot of drivers, they said, the quicker we can get off this one, the better. Salty Boncos, how's it going? Gypsy's faster on the hill, he says. And there comes TFX Ray Devil looking to make a move on T-Phrase. Ollie's dropped back there to 12th position. T-Phrase in the Chevy City painted Aston Martin Vantage. We talked to him last week in our driver spotlight. There goes Ray Devil. T-Phrase through the right-hander at the chase. Slowing it down. Back toward the back of the pack, we've got Bippity in 15, TFX Drift Bunny in 16th, Autobahn is going to bring up the rear as the back marker in 17th position. As far as I know, currently all of our drivers still on the lead lap. 3.86 mile circuit does make it better for those who oftentimes are the back markers. It does take a little bit of work for the front of the pack to make their way up to you. So we may not see, as we are essentially at the halfway mark. They're at lap 7, halfway across the track. It may be very close as it relates to back markers in this particular race, which is going to be good news for Cratrium. Maybe Blister Gypsy hoping that some lap traffic may come into play to help reel in Cratrium a little bit. Well done, Baku. Continues to hold steady in 3rd position. And Slipstream back there in 4th. Then the pack is really, really widened out. Disco Joint is on a racing island. On a racing island out there. Funtang, who was out on the track and then had some sort of catastrophic failure, saying Fear and Presto fighting and caught up the rear pack of Ollie, gotta go fast, etc. And Funtang, perhaps he'll let us know there in the pit lane whether or not he's going to join the crew back out on the track at Sonoma, even though he's going to get only 3 points for this race for at least starting it. Let's go back to Demos, who's got slow motion fire out in front of him. Funtang saying an incident at the rear of the field, so Funtang must be watching the race from within his own spectator view, giving us a little bit of a heads up of what's going on at the back of the pack. Let's move back up to the front as Well Done Baku appears to be getting a little bit closer here to Blister Gypsy. Funtang saying yes, he will race at Sonoma, so that's good to know. It's always unfortunate when you get involuntarily disconnected from a race. We have some drivers that from time to time they'll voluntarily kick themselves out. I've not known Funtang to ever do that. So when something forces him out of a race, it's that much more disappointing for us as the viewers, and especially since he was running at a wonderful clip out there in front of Cratrium. Down Conrad straight. Well done, Baku. Let's see if he can't close in. I don't know if I don't know if Blister is perhaps a little bit quicker. Yes, all these vehicles are upgraded to the same performance, but because tuning becomes a factor, these drivers are able to go in, adjust their transmission, the lengths of their gears, they're able to adjust their differential, which helps out with how much torque is applied to the tires, and depending on those tunes, that can be the difference between a fast car and a car that, sure, it's good, maybe it handles really well, but if you don't have that top-end speed, you're gonna struggle here at Bathurst, down Mountain Straight and Conrad Straight. So, speaking of mountain, here they go. Blister Gypsy touching the grass a little bit in that No Fear Aston Martin Vantage. Well done, Baku. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Well Done, Baku as we go around or up and through the Mount Panorama Circuit. That way you can get a look for those of you that haven't played Forza Motorsport 7 and want kind of a driver's perspective, or at least what it looks like from the hood. Now, here's the other thing, is that our drivers, they have the luxury here in the FM4 Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series to pick whichever view they would like. So that includes the in-car view, hood view, third-person view, where you see the entirety of the car from the back and are able to control it that way, or the RC car view, as I call it, because it's like you're controlling an RC car, but with the luxury of always being behind the RC car. And Blister Gypsy looking to be quicker up the hill. Oh, almost tagging the wall. Almost tagging the wall there, coming through 11. And here we go. Looking solid, though, in the dipper. Into Forrest's elbow. And out onto the straightaway. A little bit of a fishtail there from Blister. Nothing that he couldn't manage. Going back to Disco Joint, and man, he feels like he's all by himself. It's like he's driving on Mars out here. He could probably just barely make out the back end of Slipstream there in fourth. But apart from that, he's in no man's land. Slow motion fire back there in 6th. He too is pretty well separated, except for he's got a buddy with him, Demos, who's there in 7th position. Back in 8th, T-Phrase. 9th is Ray Devil still. 10th is PJ Dude, who's fallen back, unfortunately, a considerable amount in this race. 11th position, gotta go fast. Bippity in 12th. 13th is Drift Bunny. And back behind Drift Bunny, right behind him, is Presto is Besto in 14th position as they get ready to go through the dipper. Looks like Blister's running too much aero. That's why he was quicker through the mountain, but suffering on the straights. Great insight there from Family Dude again. Oh, and there goes Drift Bunny into the tire wall. The first one to knock those off their placement, and that's going to allow Presto to get by into 13th position. And I think Drift Bunny should be okay. I don't suspect that there's any damage to that car. No, I take that back. Absolutely demolished from front to the sides. 100% on the aero all the way around with the exception of the back. And then you've got some brake damage and suspension damage there on the driver's side. So unfortunately for Drift Bunny, that's going to necessitate a pit stop unless he stays out there. Gonna stay out there. Okay. He's got Fear the Flood back behind him, and in 17th, now becoming a back marker in which our lead lap cars are in fact passing, is Autobahn in 17th. And man, Craytrim is really throwing the hammer down. Not going to make it easy for Well Done Baku, who has now taken 2nd position from Blister Gypsy. So Blister Gypsy falling into 3rd position, and not just in the sense that Well Done Baku passed him, but there is about, I don't know, 10 or 12 car lengths between the two. So not entirely sure what happened there. And that lead continues to grow between those two. C-Tom is pitting, or Craytrium is pitting apparently, says Funtang. And indeed. So, wow. Well, this has gotten suddenly interesting. Craytrium goes into pit lane for whatever reason. I don't think that they need to stop. Tire situation looks okay, at least on Slipstream's car, who's running in 3rd. 45% fuel on lap 11 right now, leaving them 4 to go. That's plenty of fuel. So not entirely sure. Perhaps Funtang will be able to tell us why Craytrium has gone into pit lane and now finds himself back in 4th position with Disco Joint. Disco finally has a buddy to race with. Disco's like, well, look what I found. Up the hill they go out of Griffin's Bend to the cutting. T3 and 4 and 5. Maybe damage, says SVR. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. He was still leading the race, and by about the same margin that we had last seen him leading the race with. So what damage he could have incurred and where and why Blister Gypsy and Well Done Baku weren't able to close that gap, I just don't know. But then again, Blister Gypsy moved up, or excuse me, Blister Gypsy moved back, well, allowing Well Done Baku to take 2nd position, at least at the time, but now it's going to be Well Done Baku who is leading this race, and this will be excellent for Well Done, who also did not participate there in week number 1. So we're getting a lot of drivers who were unavailable apparently for week 1 out here on the circuit. Week number 2, race 1, and again, we'll wrap this one up here in 3.5 laps for the majority of the pack, and then we'll head out to Sonoma for some qualifying, followed by 23 laps out there at the short 1.99 mile circuit. Family Dude, he really didn't need to push either. Absolutely. Maybe we'll be able to get Craytrium on the driver's spotlight here following the race to let us know what happened, because that was probably the most dramatic development that we have and might very well see in this race here. Well done, Baku. He's going to take advantage of it down the mountain straight. getting away from Blister Gypsy as much as possible, and unfortunately we missed what happened to Blister Gypsy, whatever it was that put him back into third position, but then was able to get second by default with Cratrim going into pit lane, and then that moves Slipstream up, and nobody wants Slipstream to have more points because he sits at the top of the leaderboard currently with a commanding 47 points over Cratrim and Funtang. So many different storylines starting to unfold here early in the season. Week number 2 of 5. A lot of racing ahead, so anything can happen in week 3 next Tuesday, same time, right here, Twitch TV, Shadow Edge Media at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be heading out to Road America and Prague. Road America and Prague, and then they'll follow that up there in week 4 out at Sebring in Road America, or excuse me, Road Atlanta in week 4, and then week 5 heads out to the Glen for 58 laps. A lot of great racing up ahead in the Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. And again, all the information, we've got the URL down below, but just in case you can't make it out, reddit.com/r/FM4. Let's run through the pack just to let you know where everybody is. Well done, Baku is our race leader with Cratrim going into pit lane. Blister Gypsy in second position. Slipstream in third. Cratrim, despite that pit stop, is still up there in fourth position. Didn't fall too far back, but did lose those 3 podium positions, at least for now. Nisco Joy in fifth position. Slow Motion Fire is now on the racing island, going through the downhill section of Skyline and the Dipper. He's in sixth. Seventh is Demos, and actually Demos, I said Slow is on an island, but Demos is right there behind him. Demos at the bottom end of the leaderboard of the official standings, trying to change things up, trying to change that here in week number 2. 16 of the 16 drivers who participated in week 1. We've added some drivers here in week number 2, so we'll fill out that leaderboard a little bit more next time when we come at you live on Tuesday. And there goes Slow Motion, getting squirrely. How did that happen there on the down Conrad Straight? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's as straight as can be down there, and that's going to allow Demos to the inside through the chase. He's going to be a little bit wide, going to stay out onto the rumble strip or the curbing and come back out, and Demos moves up to 7th, and he's got Slow Motion. Whoa, wait, what happened? How did Slow Motion Fire get back out in front of him? I could have sworn that Demos got around him. I don't know if we're having some lag there or what. Got all excited for nothing. Oh, well. Perhaps I just didn't see Slow Motion work his way just outside camera's view. But Demos is going to hold tight right there on the back there, down the mountain straight. And Slow Motion Fire, I don't know if he's trying to get Demos to stop tagging behind him so closely or what. Shaking the car a little bit. Demo's going to make a daring pass here into turn 2 into Griffin's. And up the hill he goes. Not going to have the opportunity there to the cutting T3 and 4. And we've got a car off the track over in the chase. And it looks like they're finally getting up to speed, but they've got our lead lap cars now approaching. So let's go up to Well Done Baku, who's going to have to start encountering that vehicle, which it's Autobahn, and Autobahn's going to see himself into pit lane, perhaps for the second time here in this one. It's going to allow Well Done to get by cleanly. Same goes for Blister Gypsy and Slipstream. Go back to 12th position with Presto on the heels of Bippity. On the hills, up the hill. That very, very dangerous wall off to the right side as you come out of turn 10. You got to be cautious. Or, excuse me, out of turn 9, actually, out of Frog Hollow. Presto getting very, very close to the wall. Trying to clip that as closely as possible, making that downhill section almost a straight drive-through, or at least as straight as you could possibly make it. No, and Bippity is going to be into the wall, but saved it because Presto went into the wall as well, and perhaps the fact that Bippity went into the wall, that had Presto trying to find a way to slow down, and there's no better way to slow down here in Forza Motorsport 7 than to tag a wall. And Presto's going to look to the outside. Not a great position for him there at 20, but he's looking pretty good here at 21. Bippity going to be on the outside through 22. Line it up for the turn 23, Murray's corner. Bippity out in front. And we're on lap 14. Our leader has got the white flag their last time by. It's still Well Done Baku who's out there in front. Blister Gypsy in second position. And in third, it's going to be Slipstream. Cratrium closing in, but just not going to have enough track or enough mileage available to him to catch up. And here comes Well Done Baku for the final time through 21 and 22. One more left-hander back toward the start-finish line. Checker flags are flying, and Well Done Baku is going to take the race win with Cratrium going into pit lane about 3 laps ago. Back behind him, Blister Gypsy going to take second position. Slipstream in third, Cratrium in fourth. Let's go to Disco Joint, who is going to get around lap traffic. That's Autobahn. Disco Joint in fifth position. He'll cross the line. Autobahn will have another lap or 2 to go. We'll see if he'll be able to sneak that in the time remaining. Let's go back to seventh position with Demos. And Demos has got slow motion fire. Let's see if Demos is going to make a last-ditch effort or if he's just going to hold on to it. He's got really nobody behind him, so if he takes a shot, it wouldn't be a half-bad move with that Superman design Aston Martin Vantage coming out of turn 22, out of the chase, up to Murray's corner, and he's just not going to have an opportunity. Slow motion fire, able to pick up the pace. He's going to run a little bit wide, but not terribly. Not a terrible line, and Demos actually is going to be squirrely coming out of Murray. He's just trying to push it too hard, and into the wall he goes, but across the line in seventh position. In eighth place, it's PJ Dude. Ninth is Ray Devil. Back behind Ray Devil is Gotta Go Fast, who's in 10th. As they go underneath the Armorall Bridge out here at Bathurst for their final time. Ray Devil's going to grab 9th position. And Gotta Go Fast, they're in 10th. 11th goes to Presto is Besto. 12th is Bippity. Fear the Fun is 13th. Let's go to T-Phrase, who is in 14th in that Chevy City painted up Aston Martin Vantage. 15th position, Ollie. Everybody's going to finish single file this one. TFX Drift Bunny back there in 16th position. Autobahn on the opposite end of the circuit, still coming down the hill of Mount Panorama. And there you go. Solid race by our drivers. The question mark that still exists is what happened to Cratrium, why he went into pit lane. Again, perhaps we'll hear from him here in the driver's spotlight and we can learn a little bit more. All of our drivers are encouraged to go to the queue for interview section. Now, I can't drag you. I'll have to get with slow motion fire here after the race. But let's see. Let's start with Well Done Baku, who is our winner, our victor here in race number 1 of week number 2. Well done, Baku. Well done.
Thank you very much.
By chance, do you know what happened to Cratrium out on the track?
Yeah, he come across a lapped car and the gods of damage went on his side.
Oh, no.
Just one of them implosions, I think.
Yeah, that's rough, too, because he had a pretty good lead. I don't want to say an insurmountable lead, because certainly a mistake like that can turn everything around very quickly, and it did, with him finishing there in 4th position. We've got Blister Gypsy in here, and we'll go to him here shortly. But how How did that battle go? You guys were pretty much from the onset very close to each other.
It was pretty intense. I mean, I dropped back a bit at the start, which was kind of to be expected anyway.
Yeah.
It was chaos, but we all made it through. Then just slowly clawed my way back, piled on a bit of the pressure, and I think he succumbed to a bit of gearbox damage. Just let me catch up to him on the straights and seized my moment.
Gotcha. And where was your car most successful? Was it on those straightaways? Did you tune the car more for top speed, or did you have this thing honed in for the corners, up and down the hill?
I went entirely balanced. I think just a string of successful runs down the hill really worked in my favor.
Very good, very good. Well done, Baku. Congratulations there. Top lap of a 2:15.5 coming away as the victor there in race number 1. Good luck to you in race number 2, sir.
Thank you again.
All right, let's go to Blister Gypsy, finishing there behind him. Actually had the top lap behind Cratrim. He had a 2:14, finishing second. Great battle between you and well done, Baku. Unfortunately, he got the best of you on this one.
Yeah, he was slowly chopping away at it for quite a while.
He was, yeah.
I missed a few shifts, so I was a lot slower on the straightaways, but I don't have any excuses. That was all on me, and he ran a great race.
We were talking about Cratrim. It seems as if he had an incident with the back markers in a series like this, a league like this, where you've got a skew of driver skill in each of these drivers of, top end kind of almost professional drivers out here on the track. Then you've got the folks who are your intermediates and novices. How difficult does that make things out here at a track like Bathurst?
Oh, it makes it extremely difficult. Thankfully, I never came across any lappers, but obviously we communicate a lot through the racer communications, and if I would have ever come across any lap cars in the tight uphill sections and downhill sections where you don't have any runoff, I probably would have just told them, hey, don't worry about getting out of my way. Just run clean through here and let me by on the straightaways, just because it can get so hairy in those sections. I'm not sure where CT ended up colliding with that guy, but yeah, certainly communication's a big deal.
Yeah, very much so. In Slipstream, I see in the Discord channel saying Foon had teleported at one time. So not only is it scary when you got back markers, but when you got teleporting cars, that makes things damn near unpredictable. Did you see that happening with Foon Sang? Because he was up there with you guys for a little bit, and then, of course, he fell out.
Yeah, going into that last turn, it looked like CT was setting him up for a pass, and then he just kind of ghosted into the wall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have a clue what happened there.
Unfortunate. How are you feeling about Sonoma?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was actually hoping Bathurst was going to be my track because what I saw, I didn't race last week at Rio, but from what I saw at Rio, if you just keep your nose clean, you got a pretty good chance, which actually that battle between Baku and myself ended up ultimately being the battle for first. So Sonoma, a lot more room for error, but it's still there's a lot of elevation change, and this car really likes to step out on you. So I think I don't think it's going to be any easier by any means.
It looks like they're getting ready to ready everybody up. Last question for you. You were able to finish out there in front of Slipstream, obviously with Well Done out in front of you, and the likes of Cratrim, who inevitably will be hunting for the top spot here. What's it going to take for you to be able to best these guys out here at Sonoma?
I think I want to get out front as fast as I can.
Yeah.
I think I want to get out front early and just kind of avoid the slew of carnage that seems to ensue the first couple laps. It seems like if you can get a good lead, that really sets the tone for the rest of the race. Yeah, before you let me go, I want to make sure I tell you that we all appreciate you doing this broadcast. It's really cool. We hope that you keep doing it. You do a great job.
Well, I appreciate that. My kudos to all of you and your skills out on the track, and we look forward to seeing it. Everybody's getting readied up out here, and so good luck. Best to you here at Sonoma, and then we'll see you in the race here shortly.
All right, take it easy, buddy.
Thank you very much. All right, talking with Blister Gypsy there, and well done, Baku. In the driver's spotlight here, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. We're getting ready for race number 2 tonight, heading out to Sonoma, the short circuit, 1.99 miles. That means it's going to be a lot of laps, 23. In fact, that'll be the most laps of any of the week 1 through 4 events that we have until we get to week number 5, and it's 58 laps in that finale. But yeah, plenty of laps to be had here at the nearly 2-mile short circuit of Sonoma. And we'll see how the weather's looking out here at Sonoma. Sometimes it can be a little bit cloudy. Sometimes it's nice and sunny like we have in our preview screen here out in front of us right now. But we'll see if that actually happens to be the case. Fortunately for our drivers, though, all throughout the season, not a lick of rain to be had. The only weather that we'll see is a little bit of overcast, foggy conditions there in race number 7. That's in week 4 out at Sebring there in Florida. But no rain. No rain for these 607 horsepower Aston Martin V8 Vantages. Spectate mode. I can't get to spectate mode. I don't have the option. Go ahead. There we go. Sorry, my bad. Now we're good. I didn't see the option at first, but it was apparently because I showed that I was ready for whatever reason, one way or another. My apologies. I hate to be the one to hold everything up. I'm sorry. Blister Gypsy's going to have to take his praise back. Going to have to yank that from me. You did a horrible job, Shadow. All right, here we go. Out to Sonoma for qualifying. And again, 3 laps. The first one a standing start. The next 2 will be a flying pass. And the first one to leave the line is going to be Disco Joint. Disco Joint heading up the hill at good old Sonoma. Coming out of turn number 2 up to 3, and then they've got a 3A, 3 Alpha here at Sonoma. That's where Disco Joint's going through right now. Then it's turn 4 here on the short circuit. So you hit this right-hander. You don't go through the chute. You cut it a little bit early. Or we do go through the chute. We did go through the chute. Okay. My bad. I had my circuits all messed up, but that's okay. We've got 3 laps to figure it out before we do 23 for the actual race piece. And you're just joining us. You're curious, what are these Aston Martin Vantages all about? We told you 607 horsepower. They've also got a matching amount of foot-pounds of torque at 607. 3,663 pounds of curb weight in these cars. So hefty vehicles. That puts them in Forza Motorsport 7 a performance index rating of A700. A700. So definitely a step up from season 24 when these guys were driving the Fiat X19 in E300 class. And so we've definitely boosted things. We've given everything a sudden burst of speed here in Season 25. Race oil cooling in the engine power category. Platform and handling-wise, race brakes, race springs and dampers. The front and rear anti-roll bars are of the race variety as well. Race chassis reinforcement roll cage. And believe it or not, at 3,663 pounds, these vehicles have a race weight reduction. What did they take out? The spare tire? I don't know. Drivetrain, street drive line, race differential, tires and rims, race tire compounds with 305, 40, 18s all the way around, wrapped around them Graham Light 57 Optimize. And then the aero and appearance, you've got the race front bumper and rear wing. No conversion whatsoever, and as I talk about the front bumper and rear wing, the advantage of those, and you'll see those installed on all the cars here throughout the FM4 series is that that allows these drivers to adjust the front bumper and the splitter and the rear wing to either tune these cars for handling or for cornering or for top speed, or as we talked to Well Done Baku about, went for that balance tune where you're trying to get the best of both worlds of top end speed and cornering. Well done, Baku. Well, that was short-lived. Cratrium picking up a 119.2 on the flying lap. So we'll go to Cratrium. Watch him on his final. See if anybody's able to do him one better here, as he's got Iceman Misfit. We've talked about this last week, and we talk about this often. Despite the fact that these cars are ghosted, it makes it easy for everybody to qualify at the same time. Here's the issue, however. With 3 laps, the cars start to spread out, and if you find yourself in a situation like Cratrium has, where you've got somebody out in front of you, every time that car is ghosted, it still has a silhouette out in front of you, which can make it very, very tricky. It can play games with your eyes, with your mind, in terms of where your braking points are, where the apex is. And I think we saw that there with Cratrium. It seemed like he got a little bit off the pace there with Iceman Misfit out in front of him. But still, with a 119.2, looking pretty good. Will he be able to hold on to that and be the pole position driver out here in Sonoma? And across the line, not a better lap that third time by, so he'll hold on to that 119 for now. And we've got back behind him, we've got Well Done Baku. Not going to be able to take it down. Slipstream, not going to do it either. Blister Gypsy, try as he might, not going to happen. 5th position of Funtang, no dice there. Funtang fortunately back out on the track after the catastrophic virtual engine failure that we call a disconnect, or the disconnect that we call an engine failure here in the digital world of racing. 5th best time. Well, of course, this is all based on overall times now at this point, so really I can't help you out any. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull back out into the lobby and get ready for 23 laps out here at Sonoma in the Aston Martin Vantage V8. Shadow Edge Media, Dustin Moore, here live, Twitch TV, getting ready for race number 2, and looking at Discord just to see what the conversations are there. If we've got one driver, maybe one driver who wants to join us for an interview before we get the race going, we'll be able to take, I think, at least one here. We look at the leaderboard to see where everybody's going to stand out on the track as they get ready for this 123 laps around this 1.99 miles short circuit of Sonoma. One that jumps out to me is Funtang with a 120.0, but there you see Slipstream with that 119.5. Well done, Baku with a 119.3. And somewhere is Cratrium with a 119.2. So Cratrium just able to edge out not Presto's Besto. Well done, Baku. And Slipstream there by a couple tenths of a second. Let me look into the driver's spotlight. We don't have anybody sitting there. So I think we'll just get ready for this race to go. Everybody almost readied up here. We've got PJ Dude Audrex is going to connect, so Audrex is going to join for at least a race here in this one, despite not having raced the first one. Get some familiarity with the crew out on the track. Disrupt the point situation, you know, all that. Give Audrex a hard time. Audrex, a name familiar in the MMC. The trailer you just watched there, Mileage Masters Championship Season number 5, race number 3 coming at you live this Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the Pit Pass pre-race show. Sponsored by Racetracks. That's Tracks, T-R-A-C-X. Racetracks.com. Another side project of mine where we're putting up all the different race events that we know of out there on the interwebs for people to know of, to either participate in, to spectate, or to help organizers deconflict with their race events. Racetracks, Tracx.com. Here we go, 23 laps out at Sonoma. It's going to be Cratrium out on the pole position. Kick those tires, light them fires. There goes Presto. Let's jump up to the front of the pack. Well done, Baku, on the opposite side there of Cratrium. Going to drop back behind him and now finds himself currently in third. Slipstream's going to go wide through 2. Up the hill, and oh, we've got Blister Gypsy sideways. He's in the grass, and the cars just go crazy from that point back. We've got one who's up into the tire wall, and we'll see if the drivers or if the organizers are going to do anything to the start here. But for the most part, a pretty clean start, so I don't know that they will. Everybody's still out there racing. We've got Boontang in that magenta NVIDIA car, who dropped out of race number 1, unfortunately, due to a disconnect. He is in third position with Well Done out in front of him. Cratrium in first. Fourth position, Slipstream. Fifth is T-Fray. Sixth is PJ Dude. Slow Motion Fire back in seventh. Fear the Fun is 8th. Demos in 9th. Presto in 10th. Iceman Misfit in 11th position. Unfortunately, Blister Gypsy gonna have a lot of work to do, and we'll see him do it here out at Sonoma. He is currently running 12th. 13th is Disco Joint. 14th is Ray Devil. 15th is Ollie. TFX Drift Bunny in 16th. Way back there in 17th is Autobahn. Bippity and Gotta Go Fast make up 18th and 19th. Will any drivers be heading into pit lane? Not entirely sure. Cratrium, though, putting on a Cratrium clinic. He is way up there, going through 2 with Well Done, Baku, and Funtang just now getting through 2 themselves. And let's go ahead and we'll hang out with Funtang, who's in third, at least for now. Running Daytona 24 Saturday through the night and into the morning. MMC later on Sunday. Going to be a busy weekend for family, dude. Man, that guy's going to be tired. He's going to be run ragged after Sunday's all said and done. But good on him, sticking with all the series. And yes, we do have the classic 24 Hours of Daytona coming up, presented by Tora. It's a Tora event starting on Saturday, I believe at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can find those details over at the Tora website, or we've also got them listed on the newfangled calendar there at Racetracks, Tracx.com. Fotang now coming through turns 9, 9, 8, 10, and up to the hairpin that is 11. If this track looks familiar to you, well, it's a NASCAR, or at least it was a NASCAR circuit. I'm not entirely sure if they race there anymore. But one of the few times that the NASCARs were able to break out of their left-hand turn cycle, able to show off their right-hand capabilities. Up the hill goes Funtang, who got around Well Done, Baku. So Funtang will now move up to the top spot. He's going to be looking to take down Cratrium, and this is going to be a battle to watch. These two on the leaderboard coming into today's races in second and third, Cratrium, then Funtang, but they were both matched up at 40 points. Unfortunately for Funtang, he gets only 3 points in that first race due to a disconnect, but no better way to get yourself ready for week number 3 than to race strong here in race number 2 and maybe put the fear in your opponent a little bit. Shaking in them tires. Big old wheels, those 305s here on the Aston Martin Vantages. 607 horsepower, 607 foot-pounds of torque, and a whole heck of a lot of weight, a lot of junk in that trunk. 3,663 pounds of curb weight, bringing these cars at an A700 performance index here in Forza Motorsport 7. Whether you've got it for the Xbox One or for the PC, race with these folks. The FM4 Forza Motorsport Racing Series, Spec Racing Series, no qualification. All you got to do is go through a simple registration process just to let these guys know that you want to race. You get all the details there at reddit.com/r/FM4. Up the hill, Foontaine goes. Cratrium. I'm going to get it right. By next race, by week 3, I will have it figured out. But Cratrium out there with a commanding lead, at least for now. Well done, Baku in 3rd. Slipstream 4th. Fear the Fun is 5th. Slow Motion Fire in 6th. Blister Gypsy, I was telling you, going to be making his way up through the pack. He was 12th last time we saw him. Guess where he's at now? Finds himself in, well, he was there in 7th. He is still in 7th. Yep, there he is, back behind Slow Motion Fire. He's going to have to try to find a way around, coming up to turn number 7A, which is the chute, or coming out of the chute up to 7A. The numbering system here at Sonoma is a little bit different. They don't count every single little nook and cranny of this track, unlike Bathurst. There's only, by their count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners here on the backside of Sonoma, and up to the hairpin they go. And we've got one car which is in pit lane, and now coming out of pit lane, let's go to Foontaine, who's in 2nd. He's going to be approaching that pit lane car and was able to get around cleanly. Oh my, who was that coming out of pit lane? That was Demos. Unfortunately for Demos, back there in 19th position. Already a back marker, already on the 1 lap down run. That leaves Slipstream to try to get around. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Shadow Edge Media here live on Twitch TV. If you are indeed enjoying the action, the racing, and the commentating, the presentation, all that jazz, please click the follow button. Please. I would greatly appreciate it. It allows you to be able to chat with us here in the pit lane. That's our one motivator to get you to follow, is that you won't be able to chat in the pit lane until you do so. And oh no, unfortunately for Demos, this is just not his race here today, and he is going to be spinning it around coming through turn 10, and he's got a whole pack of cars there who are going to be hunting to get around him, wanting to get around him so badly. He's going to continue with his race, which is good. That's what we encourage all of our drivers to do, not only here in the FM4 and in the MMC, but all across the Forza community. Stay out on the track. Not everybody can possibly come in first. Somebody's going to have to come in last. If it's going to be you, you might as well see it through all the way to the end, get all the credits, and especially getting the credit here in FM4 as far as points go. Stay out there, try to nab yourself as many points as you possibly can. Slipstream in 4th. 5th is Fear the Fun. Slow Motion Fire back there in 6th. Let's go to PJ Dude in 8th position. We've got all kinds of traffic back here. Blister Gypsy up ahead in 7th. We were just watching him not too long ago. Slow Motion Fire to the inside, and oh no, somebody gets into the back of PJ Dude. I think that was Disco Joint. Disco Joint going to do the sportsman-like thing and allow PJ Dude to get back on pace. And unfortunately, yeah, it just so happened there that T-Phrase in that Chevy City Aston Martin Vantage was into the back there of PJ Dude. Disco Joint getting in between them. That's the right thing to do. If you mess up somebody's entry, allow them to get back up to speed and don't move it forward any. And oh no, you can't see it there, but T-Phrase went head first into the hairpin. How strange. You've got pit lane entry off there to the left. I don't know if he was trying to line his car up for pit lane entry or what, but went head first into turn 11, the hairpin. So T-Fray's having a disappointing race at this point. Blister Gypsy's made his way around Slow Motion Fire. What's up there, Dino Dad Shadow? My shadow brother from another shadow mother. If you guys haven't watched Shadow stream, go do that from time to time. He's also got the wheel, like an actual, like the wheel, like not a controller, but the wheel racing league, where all the drivers that are a part of that league all have a racing wheel, and you can watch him broadcast those races. He is racing, so you see it from his vantage point. But you can check out that series, and Dino Dad Shadow perhaps will be able to drop some information. Don't put a link in there because that won't work for you. But maybe you'll be able to drop in some information of where people can find more details. And of course, they've already started that season, so you'll be a little bit late to join. But at the very least, go check out his channel whenever he does go live. And Dino Dad Shadow, my request to you is if you can, put your league information into, go to Racetracks, TRACX.com. Racetracks, again, TRACX.com. If you can provide your league information there, I'll be happy to add it to the brand new calendar that I've just created at that website to hopefully track all the Forza, not only Forza, but any of the other racing that is happening in the virtual world. And that way folks can learn more about what opportunities there are out there for them in terms of league racing, for league organizers to help deconflict them from other race events that are taking place, and just for everybody overall to have more information about what's happening in the different communities out there, not only here in Forza Motorsport 7, but also in the iRacing world, the Gran Turismo world, Formula One world, Project Cars. Anybody who knows somebody who puts together league races, let them know about the website. We'll have more information about it on Sunday. You'll see a full front of advertising. I'll be gentle, I promise. It won't be too much in your face, but you will start to see that appear in the MMC, and hopefully we can get a lot of events posted up on that site, and that way you will have a clear picture of what is going on out there in the digital race circuit. There's Funtang trying to stay out in front of Well Done Baku. Well Done Baku, who won the race out at Bathurst not too long ago, just earlier this evening. And actually, Well Done Baku had the second best time out on the track. Funtang was a little bit further behind, but Funtang has been able to move his way up the pack, and oh no, Funtang is going to be wide out into the grass coming through turn 10. That's going to give Well Done Baku an opportunity to move to the inside into turn 11, and there they go through the hairpin for the conclusion of lap number 9, the start of lap 10, and we've got another driver, whoever's there in 18th position, in the pit lane. That's going to be Autobahn. Autobahn is in. That'll give Demos a chance to catch up. Every position counts out here. It's not until, I believe, 19th through 24th position do you only get 3. No, actually, I take that back. It's 13th through 24th. So every position counting up until the point that you're between 13th and 24th position. But still, nonetheless, you're racing. You're competitive. You want to do as good as you possibly can. And so Demos is going to be able to close that gap on Autobahn ever so slightly as we continue to watch Well Done Baku now, who's made that pass on Funtang. We're going to wait through this string of turns 8, 8A, 9, 9A, and 10 to see if Funtang is going to be able to reel him back in and contest him for second, and I'm sure he will just now on lap 10. So we've got 14 laps remaining here in this race. 13 after they cross the start-finish line next time by. Dino Dad Shadow saying, sounds good. Sounds good, man. Hey, whatever we can do to help promote other racing leagues and events throughout the community, that's my goal. That's my objective there with that particular site, and hopefully that will become a go-to source for people. Because there's nothing worse than being an organizer and you go to set up an event just to learn that half the drivers that you're trying to recruit are all in another event. So if you can get that all hashed out beforehand, it's beautiful, because you can then go to those drivers and say, hey, I'm going to set something up for this day and time. If you're available, come out on the track and join us. And that's exactly what we've got here in the FM4 Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. There goes Footang. Going to maybe make a move here at 4A. Nope, not going to do it there. Well done, Baku, closing the door. Come join the FM4 Spec Racing Series. Reddit.com/r/FM4. All the details, everything you need to know is up there. And then Slow Motion Fire does a great job at managing this series as well. Not only do they obviously tally up the points and all that, but then also there's a system for liveries so that everybody gets a design on their car one way or another. It doesn't have to be fancy, but you get a livery on your car, get yourself a number, and then he goes back and he takes photos of the races to essentially have an archive of images to prove you were there. It's kind of like I got this T-shirt type thing, but it's cooler because there you have an image of you. Oh, and Fute going to give Well Done Baku a little bit of a bump heading back to the start-finish line. Yeah, with those photos, you have a record. You were there. I was there the day that Futang and Well Done Baku got into it at Sonoma, and they're going to go side by side, door panel to door panel, tire to tire, through 2, up to 3, then 3A. A little bit of sparks flying. Well done, Baku has the advantage, and oh, he's struggling up the hill. All 607 horsepower, and there goes Futang around him. Well done, Baku seems to have hit the brakes and allowed Futang just to get by. Perhaps Well Done Baku wanted to have nothing with that battle going into 4A, and says, hey, you know what? I'd rather duke this out elsewhere on the track. And so now Well Done Baku to third position. Futang to second. Slipstream is back in fourth position. He comes through 9 and 9A. Back behind him is Blister Gypsy, who's made his way up to fifth position. A dark horse in this race there in that No Fear Aston Martin Vantage. We haven't been able to put our focus on him for much of the race, having fallen back there to 12th position at the start. We saw the type of incidents that he got into early, going through 2 and 3, but has recovered magnificently from 12th, now up to 5th, and he has Slipstream in his sights. If you're watching for the first time, please hit that follow button. But then also, after you've done that, please say hello in the chat. Would love to be able to say hello to you and acknowledge the fact that you're here watching with us live on Twitch TV, and for those of you that are watching it back on demand, very, very glad that you're doing that. And of course, we'll have this re-air. We'll do a rerun immediately following this broadcast. Some of the drivers, they love to do that. They race these races, and then they go back to see the action for themselves from the broadcast point of view, as we see Blister Gypsy getting through 7. Coming through 7. They actually don't go into 7A out here at Sonoma. They cut to the inside, and then it's kind of a weeble wobble situation out to A. Kind of just working the 3,663 pound Aston Martin Vantage back and forth here on the back side, the back half of Sonoma, and Slipstream is getting closer and closer in the sights of Blister Gypsy. And as for Slipstream, he's got Well Done Baku and Futang not far out in front of him. So Kratium right now pretty darn safe, and that's the kind of performance he wants after having a disappointing finish out there at Bathurst. And I say disappointing. He finished fourth, and Futang is going to slide it through 2, and that allows Baku to catch up, and that's going to allow Slipstream to catch up as well. And then back behind him, Blister Gypsy. So Futang making all the wrong mistakes here in this one. He had an opportunity when he got around Well Done Baku, but of course that didn't come easy. He went off track a little bit earlier through turn 10, back there on lap number 10, and now has fallen back once again. He's able to get out in front of Well Done Baku. He's just not holding on to it. What would Unironically Average have to say about this, Futang? Futang and Unironically Average. I don't want to say teammates because they haven't, I don't believe, formed an official team, but they do a lot of testing and tuning together. Good friends as I know it, as I understand it. And obviously those two give each other hell every once in a while, and Foontang would rightfully so get the short end of it here today. But again, he's in third position, so who are we to laugh and judge? Well done, Baku, across the line for the conclusion of lap 14. He'll start lap 15 here with Kratrium, who just continues to take off. Now, here's the unfortunate thing for Kratrium. As fast as he is, you can see there on the map, he's approaching the back markers who are going through turn 7 right now. So it's only a matter of time here with these 9 laps remaining that Kratrium's going to have to deal with those back markers once again. Slipstream closing in. Blister Gypsy closing in. What a battle here we have at the front of the pack. Anybody want to take any guesses on who's going to come out second and third on this one? Is Kratrium going to be able to hold on to it this time? We'll have to see. And yes, drivers, I will have a little bit of time here at the conclusion of today's race to have 1 or 2 interviews. So not that you're listening right now, but we will try to get a couple of our drivers to chat after the race, and then we'll get that rerun aired on the broadcast or on the channel here immediately following this broadcast. Out of 10, off to 11. Shadow Edge Media, Dustin Moore. Tuesday night racing with the Forza Motorsports Spec Racing Series. But join us this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the Mileage Masters Championship, race number 3 of Season 5. We're heading out to Road America. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Up there in Wisconsin. With the Sargento billboards all around the track. It's going to be solid. We had 2 great races out at Hockenheim Ring. And then just last week, here I go. I'm gonna draw a blank again. I always do this, and I don't know why. We had a good race too, but unfortunately, out there at Monza. How can I forget our first time out at Monza? Yeah, for race number 2. So Hockenheim Ring for race 1, Monza for race 2. Out at Road America, it's going to be the sport touring cars, and all the drivers, from what I can tell, are very much excited for that one. A lot of cars for them to choose from. So join us, yes, again, 11 a.m. Eastern Time is when we drop the green flag here on Sunday, the 20th. But then join us at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for the Pit Pass pre-race show. We talk to our drivers, we go through the leaderboard, and oh no, the feared loading screen. Let's see, we've still got Kratrium out in front. Well done, Baku is in second. Foontang in third. Blister Gypsy in fourth. Slipstream still in fifth. Fear the fun. Oh. No, we're good. We're good. Slipstream. Blister Gypsy is now up to fourth position. Fear the Fun is in sixth. Disco Joint in seventh. Iceman Misfit in eighth. PJ Dude is in ninth. 10th is Slow Motion Fire. Presto is Besto in 11th. Teeth Ray is in 12th. Ray Devil 13th. Drift Bunny is in 14th. Ollie in 15th. Gotta Go Fast in 16th. Bippity Autobahn Demos in 19th. So we have all the drivers, so we just happen to have a little bit of a glitch there. As we continue to watch, we'll hang out here with Baku and Foontang and Blister Gypsy. As a matter of fact, let's go hone in on Blister Gypsy's car, who is now up to fourth position. Dino Dad Shadow saying, come on, Foon. Make it happen, dude. Or don't get passed again, at least. And as I say that, Blister Gypsy right there on the back rear right quarter panel of Foontang through 11. No opportunity there. There's still plenty of time. I'm going to guess that Blister Gypsy is going to have another run at it elsewhere here at Sonoma, up the hill. Out of 1 and 2. What a pack, and then don't forget Slipstream back there. Even though Slipstream has fallen victim to Blister Gypsy. Oh no, we got lap traffic, and oh, look at Blister Gypsy jumping that V8 Aston Martin Vantage, all 3,663 pounds of it, out to the inside line heading into 4A like as if he were some sort of Formula 1 car. and then brings it back in line behind Foontang. Blister Gypsy perhaps getting a little restless back there, knowing that Kratrium is so far ahead. He wants to close in. Great battle for second indeed. I agree, Dino Dad Shadow and TFX. Cold. Let's just go with Cold. TFX Cold. Thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Blister Gypsy now to the inside of Foontang into 11. Foontang is hard on the brakes and slides to the inside. Then he drifts it through the opposite end or the back end of 11. He's still going to fall behind Blister Gypsy, but he does it with some style points. And so now Blister Gypsy rolls up into the podium position, and oh, they've got some more traffic up ahead, and that's going to be, I think that's Autobahn pulling off to the track, perhaps wisely, because the last thing that Autobahn wants to do with this grouping here is cause any sort of chaos. And Blister Gypsy now has Baku out in front of him. Hard Charger Award. And Dino Dad Shadow saying, what a pass. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it multiple times out here on this 11-corner circuit. I think they're underestimating the number of corners out here, so let's do a recount. But we saw it at multiple points out on the track, but Blister Gypsy, he's been eyeing Foontang there at that hairpin for at least the last 2 or 3 laps after he was able to get around Slipstream and made the pass there. Foontang, I think, was a little bit upset about it. He threw the back end out of that magenta NVIDIA Aston Martin V8, took advantage, and there goes Blister Gypsy to the inside once again in 11, and oh no, we got Demos in pit lane who's just sitting there in pit lane entry. That's not a good spot for Demos to be. Demos, get out the way in pit lane entry, and Blister Gypsy has now moved up to second position down the stretch across the line for the start of lap 20 of 23 out here at Sonoma. Wow, Blister Gypsy not able to participate in week number 1, but making it happen here in week number 2. He's gotten around. Well done, Baku, who won out there at Bathurst the last time by. But now Blister is going to at least be out ahead for now. Will they be able to pull in Kratrium? If he can do that, that'll be absolutely astonishing. Gypsy's got some speed. Dino Dad Shadow saying there in the pit lane. Appreciate the commentary. And anybody who's watching, feel free, jump in. Get in on the fun. Don't be quiet. Come on. The water's nice. All right, through 9, then 9A. There's where Foontang has had some issues. Blister Gypsy's going to run a little bit wide out on the grass, keeping 2 tires out onto the curbing. Demos appears to be out of the pit lane entry, so I think Demos is clear now. And Blister Gypsy starting to peel away, as we see the Forza greats so often do in these league series. They find themselves having to make their way up through the pack, and just when you're thinking, okay, toward the end of this race, it's going to be really close, who's going to actually take the lead? Well, that car that's been charging up through the pack, they're carrying a heck of a lot of momentum. And Blister Gypsy, he doesn't want anything to do with 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or 12th for that matter. He wants to be out in front. Unfortunately, he's got Kratrium, who's just way out ahead. As a matter of fact, we'll throw that map up there for you. There you see the separation. Kratrium heading up to turn 10. Blister Gypsy now just entering 8, coming into 8A. So, I don't know, maybe a half a mile of separation there. Half or a quarter of a mile or so. And Kratrium is going to be across the line for the 22nd time, starting lap 22. 2 laps to go in this one. Blister Gypsy, all I can do is hope that maybe, obviously you're not hoping that something happens to your opponents out there on the track. Yes, racing, you know, it's a matter of who comes first. It's not necessarily always the most exciting way or the most gorgeous, the most appealing way of winning a race when something happens to your opponent. But you got to imagine he's hoping the best for Cratrium, only that he's able to reel him in as quickly as possible. Got to go fast there in between them now as he's gotten around one lap car coming up on another. It's just going to be it's a big lead to overcome at this point, but a heck of a race considering where he could have finished in this one, starting out toward the front of the pack, but got caught up in the grid of cars, the big pack of cars coming out of turn 1, but able to make his way up through the ranks. Don't let this discourage you if you're watching and you're thinking about participating here in the FM4. As we were mentioning earlier, drivers of various skill levels, and so it's not necessarily a matter of you coming out here and always trying to win. I think what's best and what has always been most entertaining and exciting for me is find somebody in these series who you match up really, really good against, match up really, really well with, and make that your target. Make that your on-track rival. And if you can beat them, that's an accomplishment. And if you continue to beat them, then find somebody else that you are pretty well paired with. And there goes Gotta Go Fast. Going to try to make some room for Blister Gypsy. Very nice. Oh, very close, but very well done by Gotta Go Fast there. Allowing the second place car to get around, and now he's going to allow third place of Well Done Baku to get around. Futang has dropped off the pace considerably to where he was with Well Done Baku a little bit earlier on, and Slipstream back there in 5th position. Let's go up to our race leader for the conclusion of this one. And we see him coming out of 10. Cratrium, he's got lap cars bookending him front and back around the hairpin of turn 11, and he's going to throw some tire smoke for us. And where he had the opportunity to win it at Bathurst, he does it here at Sonoma. A 4th place finish followed by a victory. Second is going to go to Blister Gypsy. Third is Well Done Baku. 4th place is going to go to Futang. Slipstream in 5th. Back behind him is 6th of Disco Joint. Fear the Fun in 7th. And, oh, look at that. Fear the Fun. Oh, no, Fear the Fun! Perhaps getting a little bit fancy with it. And he'll be able to get back out there just out in front of Iceman Misfit. Maybe, I don't know, Iceman Misfit gonna make one block. I think that was okay. It looked like one block and only one block. So Fear the Fun 7th, 8th goes to Misfit, 9th goes to PJ Dude, Slow Motion Fire in 10th, 11th is Presto, 12th goes to T-Phrase, and 13th is going to be Ray Devil coming out of 10 up to 11. And again, drivers who are now listening to the broadcast at the conclusion of this race, if you'd like to chat it up in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of this one, I think I can get 1 or 2 drivers in for a quick interview before we wrap this one up, before we prepare for another week of preparation. Yes, I know, that makes absolutely no sense. 13th position, Ray Devil. 14th, Drift Bunny. 15th is going to be Ollie. Oh, no. Whoa. We got some glitching going on there. Oh, no. It's gotten bad suddenly. We'll go ahead and we'll duck out. Oh, Futang telling us he had transmission damage, which had him falling off the pace, and oh no. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can get back into the lobby to see how this thing finished up. Otherwise, we're just going to have to rely on what we know. Yeah, that's not right. Race ends in... okay, so we should be okay. So hang tight. That's from the qualifying earlier. So we'll hang tight right here as we await the race to finish, and I'll look to the queue for interview section to see if any of our drivers are going to go in there and hop in, and we can have a quick word with them again before we wrap up this race. And if you didn't watch the entirety of this broadcast, or if you're one of the racers and you want to see what it looked like from the spectator or the broadcast perspective, we'll have a rebroadcast of this event here following. Once I shut it down, then we'll launch that, and that way you guys can watch it a second time. As if the first time wasn't enough, Go for a second time. Cratrium saying you are quick for using a wheel. That's impressive. And he's talking to Blister Gypsy. And I didn't know Blister Gypsy racing with a wheel and was going that quick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's a superhuman. Usually controllers are quicker. Usually, because you can pivot that thumbstick that much quicker than you can with a wheel. So usually controllers are quicker, but obviously whoever's behind that controller counts just as much as what it is that they're using to race with. And Blister Gypsy, if he happens to be using a wheel, well, he's doing really, really good against, I would guess, a majority of controller users. Still looking to see if maybe a driver's going to join us here in the queue for interview section on Discord. If not, that's okay. But we'd love to be able to chat with somebody if they're up and willing. And we'll get the race standing results here in a second. And there we go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, it worked. It worked. Cratrium with the win at a 1:18.6. And right behind him, Blister Gypsy in second position, 1:18.9. And we've got Blister Gypsy here in the driver's spotlight. How about that race? You coming back from... we saw you at least in 12th position. It could have been more, but that was a heck of a comeback.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, first turn got a little hectic up there. These cars, they once you get under braking, if you give it a little bit too much of the left foot, they'll lock up and they'll push on you. So that was kind of like a domino effect. Everybody got excited and it spun me around. But yeah, after that, I was just back to the workbench, try to pick off as many guys as I could.
You were peering to the inside there of Funtang a couple of times, at least one or two times, before you ultimately made a pass there in turn 11. Was that your strong spot on the track, or at least the area that you saw an opportunity or an advantage with Funtang?
I actually think coming through that chicane straight through the S's, I felt like I was able to roll through those corners a little easier. And then that ultimately led to me having a little more momentum coming down that straight so I could outbrake in there. But that pass on Futang, I didn't think that was going to work because I don't know if you saw. We both kind of blew that corner.
Yeah.
So I totally thought he was going to high-low me, but he must have got a little too much on the gas and spun it a little bit. But
he did indeed. He was throwing a hefty cloud of smoke back behind him as he was trying to rope it back in. Be honest with us. How many laps were you hoping to have once you got up there into second position to try to reel in Cratrium, or basically were you saying, you know what, second place is not bad considering where I started here?
Yeah, he was on my ticker here on the left side. It said he was about 2,000 feet ahead of me. I don't know how long the track is, but I'm pretty sure that's like close to a half lap. So by the time I got up into second, I knew that if I would have had to run so hard to catch him that I probably would have ended up blowing a line and screwing up my second place finish. So once I got past Baku, I just was worried about putting a little bit of distance on him.
Very good. We're talking to Blister Gypsy coming away with the second place finish here at Sonoma behind Cratrium. Before we let you go here and before we wrap up this broadcast, heading out to week 3, Road America, then Prague. Tell us that we're going to have you out on the grid because we can't possibly lose this storyline in week 3. This one's just too good.
Yeah, I should be out there.
Awesome.
Was it Road America or Atlanta?
Road America, full circuit there for the first one, and then out at Prague, the full circuit for the second.
Prague's going to be a demolition derby.
What a diverse combination of tracks there. You've got Road America, very much a high-speed circuit, and then you're going to head out to Prague. I'm gonna guess that Road America is probably one that you are very much excited about. Maybe Prague, not so much. You're saying demolition derby.
Actually, I come to find that on the street courses, I usually do a little bit better. Just because it's all about just kind of like staying off the wall. So I do my best to try to. I'm usually pretty good at knowing where the limit is and trying not to push it too far. But now that I said that, through those chicanes in Prague, I'm probably going to cause a pileup. So.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be another great one there. Week 3 next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Blister Gypsy, it's been a pleasure talking with you here today. Any last shout-outs or comments before we wrap this one up?
No, I got nothing. Thanks again, man.
Good deal. Blister Gypsy, great workout on the track today, coming away second place here at Sonoma in race number 2 of week 2. Heading out again to week 3, Road America full circuit, then Prague for race 5 and 6. Those will be equally exciting, if not more so, because at this point, the picture really starts to come. It's starting to become clearer. We're going to have the points tallied up. One of these weeks is going to be a drop week, but watching the races in week 3 is really going to help us understand who is going to be where on the leaderboard and what they're going to have to do in the next 2 weeks to make it happen, to come away as the champion here in the FM4 Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series. And the beautiful thing about that, you get the bragging rights, but then you also get to pick the vehicle for season 26. So all the incentive to try to win this one out. And we'll go to the scoreboard one last time here. Just a reminder as to where things were prior to today. So this does not take into account where our drivers were prior to today. Now, of course, because 1 week is going to ultimately be dropped between these two, that's going to shift things a little bit. But the likes of Blister Gypsy, who was not here in week number 1, there's several. Funtang. Let's take Funtang as an example. Funtang sitting third coming into this week. Unfortunately, only yielded those 3 points there in race number 1 after that disconnect. So things are going to change here on the leaderboard next Tuesday as we get ready for race number 3. But it's week 3 for race 5 and 6 where it really, really gets exciting. And when we get out of that, yes, 2 more weeks to go with another 2-week race there in week number 4. And then the finale out there at the Glen, 58 laps. It's going to be gold. This is a great, great season. This has been ever since we started things out there at Spa last week. We've had an idea of how wonderful or how competitive this season was going to be. That's it for me, folks. What an awesome, awesome broadcast, at least from my vantage point. Maybe you all have difference of opinions, but I appreciate everybody else everybody who tuned in. And again, if you're watching right now and you haven't yet hit that follow button, but you enjoy the entertainment, give us a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated. Lets me know as the broadcaster that you did indeed enjoy the broadcast. And then hopefully, cross our fingers, knock on wood, and all that fun stuff. We'll see you next Sunday for the Mileage Masters Championship, season number 5, race number 3, which is going to be equally exciting. And guess where we're going? Road America, wouldn't you know? We're going to have back-to-back Road America action here, Sunday and then next Tuesday. That gets kicked off, the green flag dropping at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But yes, please do join us for that Pit Pass pre-race show at 10:30 a.m. We talk all kinds of great stuff with our drivers. We talk about the leaderboard, where the drivers are, and that's a mileage-based series. So that's even that much more complicated as far as the leaderboards go. That thing changes considerably week to week. So you'll want to be there for that one at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for Mileage Masters Championship Pit Pass pre-race show there just before Season 5, race number 3. 60 minutes of racing out at Road America. 60 minutes. I love it. All right, everybody, there we go. Tuesday's in the book. Tomorrow is Hump Day. Hump Day.
Well, you want to woo-woo? It's that woo-woo.
Yeah, I want to woo-woo, Bub Rub. Let's woo-woo it all the way to Wednesday. Let's get through Hump Day on our way to the back half of the week. If you all get any more racing action in, either in the virtual world or in the real world, as always, keep it fun, keep it safe, keep it clean. Adios and goodbye.